Hi, welcome to day 20 of Inktober Tangles challenge. I'm Anica, CZT from Croatia. Day 20 brings us another geometrical tangle. It's Kangular by Tomas Padros. And I'm sure most of you know Tomas and his love for constructing amazing tangles. And today's tangle is no exception. It's actually a fragment, it's a triangular fragment, and this is what it looks like. You draw this V shape or whatever, it's a 90 degrees, not percent angle. And then you add this shape inside, so you have like a square. And then if you add an aura line inside and ink it in, you have this central dark part. And finally, behind the shape, you connect the corners and ink them in. So this is the fragment. And then you can imagine when you mirror it, it looks really cool. And if it's not 90%, almost like Tripoli that we did, it can be like this and it can look like a beautiful flower. So I'm going to use it here in the corner because that's where I have space for it. And I will just start with one of these V shapes. I will start first with the V shapes. Let me draw this border line all the way to my mirth, and then I will stack these V shapes. And yeah, at one point I will not have any space anymore. I don't know if I should go further away to this side. Let's first finish this. So then it will be more difficult, and I will have to go with this shape all the way to the border. Because as you know, later I will have to connect these lines, and then I can connect them in a way that leaves this central part sticking out. So because I use them in a free form like this, maybe it doesn't look as structured as the original tangle. But if you ask me, it doesn't have to be structured. So now I'm adding this central part, which is dark, and it will make the whole thing maybe look a little bit more cohesive. And maybe my auras around the dark part are not as wide as in the original version, but that's also fine. And now, you know, in the original version, this whole outside part is inked in, but I will not ink it in. I will add these roundings, and then I will add dark shading. Let me look at this now and see if I want to maybe add some more here in the... I'm actually not sure, because if I add it here, it won't look, you know, because here I have these inked in parts all in the middle. So I don't think that I will do anything good with it. I will add roundings here. And then with my blue, I will just add color to the places around the tangle like I usually do. And somehow I believe that this might be a better idea than to just keep adding triangles in a way that will almost like disturb this idea of these inked in triangles being centrally located, and everything looks a little bit like blossom have a basically a characteristic of blossom tangle that blossoms from the central part towards the edges, so radial design. So I'm just going to add blue color, and I shouldn't have colored the top of this triangular part, but there it is. I'll try to cover it with white, which is not going to be easy, just because the white always absorbs this really powerful blue pigment. I will add a little bit, at least a little bit of blue between the tangles here on the top part too, and as I move away from this more or less central part of the tile, I will just gradually let the color fade away. So again, a little bit more towards the center of the tile, and then let it fade away. Okay, my blues are done, and I need to wait for them to dry, obviously, before I add any shades over them. But now I can work on the shades on my Kangular, and I want to add it in this central part and along the edges of this triangle that sticks out from the middle. And of course, because I have this tangle here that goes over, and the part of the Kangular is hidden behind, it's also where I'm adding some shade. And then with the white jelly roll, because the space is so limited, I will add some bright white to this aura. Maybe I can also add some embellishments, just because, to kind of even more accentuate the fact that these are kind of spreading from the middle towards the edges. It's not, of course, a part of the original step out, but that doesn't mean that I can't use it. Now I will add some darker shades around the central tangle towards the bottom of the tile, but I'm not sure I will do the same here on top, maybe just, but not between mirth, because I'm afraid that it will just be too dark all the way from the center into the dark part of my mirth. I do want to have some darker shade here. Where there's more blue space. And let me just take a look at this now and see if it needs any more. Somehow it seems to me that I might add a little bit of white, maybe either a thicker white line that gradually becomes thinner and thinner, or you could go with the dots or whatever you want, like this. Oops, not over my mark, please. I'll have to I'll have to mask it with my black pen. Thank God for the layering. But it's not easy to make the drawing look cohesive when you got thrown the tangles at you. You're not choosing the tangles that you like and that you would maybe pick to go with each other. At the same time, it just proves the point that any tangle can be used with any other tangle, and all the tangles can get along with each other. Because after all, even if maybe I would choose one or two of these tangles if I was drawing alone, by myself, for myself, but even with somebody else's choice of tangles and the sequence of using those tangles, this looks kind of cute. It's not what I would have created, by myself, but that's the magic of it. I surprise myself when I create like this, and it's kind of cool, I believe. Let me just extend this the same way like it's extended to this side, and I can add my chop somewhere here in the dark, the way that I usually do. Maybe right here, letter A, like stylized letter A. So we are done with 20 days. Yay! Thank you for drawing with me again, and have a lovely day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.